bridging the gap so the people can cross to the polling place. I mean, the surprised I was able to do that while we're live.
That was really impressive.
I love that senator for you.
Tommy, great to see you. I'm
Great
John
to see you,
Ossoff.
John.
I'm the Democratic nominee for Senate in Georgia.
And I'm Tommy Dorfman. I'm an actor and a writer from Georgia. My dad said he talked to you this morning.
Yeah, it was like within the last 36 hours. Yeah.
John and I went to the same school growing up. And I think we had overlap for a few years because it was like a kindergarten to 12th grade school. I think my cousin Haley was in the grade below you.
And you know that I was in John Green and Catherine's class with Jesse.
Were you?
Yeah,
she just had a baby.
I know, you used to come all the time.
I got picked on a lot in my early years, and so I used to go hang with Jesse, and I would go hang with Haley too in her 6th grade classroom. I wanted to ask you if you had Donna for history.
Yeah, AP Euro.
Best. You know, I was really fortunate that we went to a school that was fairly progressive, but even within those constraints, there was conflict, right? And I grew up with a Black brother in the South, and a lot of that stuff was just very, very present to me. I don't have at all the stamina or the wherewithal, I think, to do what you're doing, but I'm so incredibly impressed. Did you always want to pursue politics?
Well, I was a history nerd as a kid. That led me to read John Lewis's memoir, Walking with the Wind, which I highly recommend, about his time as a young leader in the civil rights movement. I wrote him a letter when I was still in school and asked if I could come and spend some time working for him. And he invited me to spend a few months working for him. And that really changed my life. He became my mentor. He guided me eventually to a different position. But I became so disillusioned by what I saw in Washington that I got out of town. I left and went into journalism. And it wasn't until Trump was elected that I started thinking about getting back into the political world.
The Trump election was so surreal to me because obviously we were kind of in a similar position to where we are now. Oh, like this is never going to happen. The polling was really, really on our side. It was also the same week I was getting married. Gay marriage had like just been legalized. We thought Hillary was going to get elected and then we were going to get married. And of course it was like Trump got elected and then we had to get married because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to get married the next year. You know what I mean? It was like, it felt very sort of like urgent. And I remember walking down the street. I was in Maine, which was a state that was split, and thinking like, who voted for this person?
Two things really stand out to me in this discussion, which is, first of all, this progress that we've made in Georgia that puts us in the position now potentially to win 2 Senate races in a single year has been really a decade of concerted effort. Voter registration, building infrastructure, building a base of volunteers, reaching out to communities who hadn't heard from politicians in decades. Political change takes time and sustained investment. And we're now in a position where we're sort of at the culmination of a decade of work. The second thing that really sticks out to me about what you were just saying is just how vital it is that we not be complacent. Because it's true, in 2016, people were taking the outcome for granted. That may well have made the difference. Enough people stayed home because they thought that the outcome was preordained. The sort of silver lining to the Trump era is this renaissance of civic engagement.
If anything's become clear to me this year, it's that, you know, this isn't a moment. It is a movement, and it requires a sort of marathon mentality when approaching it.
It can be empowering to situate ourselves in the long run, kind of zoom out. We have an obligation to continue our country's journey toward what it can become.
Yeah, an obligation, a responsibility to live up to our potential. I think America sort of as this project has not been the most successful, especially to marginalized groups, to Black people in this country, to people of color across the board, to LGBTQ people, to anybody who is different. The most vital thing right now as we approach this election is getting the word out to vote and bringing people to vote. And I was thinking about this as well with, you know, Biden and Harris. It's like, yes, there's a lot of really good things they're talking about. And then if they get elected, we as a populace have an opportunity to do the work to hold them accountable.
Yeah, and that's what democracy is about.
Yeah.
Holding those elected to represent us accountable.
So John, I already voted. What is your voting plan?
I voted early in person at State Farm Arena in Fulton County. And what I want to make sure that everybody who's watching in Georgia knows is that if you text VOTE to 51015, then you can get all the information you need. Do not wait until the last minute. Don't think about November 3rd as election day. It's just the last chance to vote.
Thank you for taking the time. I know that you're incredibly busy right now. And if you're in Georgia, please go vote for John.
Appreciate you and proud of you.
Proud of you too.
I love that senator for you. I love that senator for you.